Okay, now we are going live. Welcome to the stream, guys. I think we're actually streaming. Okay, good. Looks like we're streaming. I think. Maybe. But this is the AndresRestart Q&A, my first Q&A. So we'll see how it goes. I have a few questions that I got from the Discord mainly, but a couple from Facebook. None on Twitter, but people shared it, which is cool. Hopefully people come and I can get more questions as I check the chat. So, you know, it's going to be about gaming, about myself, about everything. I have the solar eclipse today, so I figured we might as well talk about that too. And I really hope this is actually streaming, so I should actually check YouTube now. Yeah, that'll be a good idea. Always a good idea to see if what you're doing is actually happening. Okay, so we are live. No one is watching it. At least I don't think so. Alright. Oh, I forgot something key. There we go, I gotta open that up. And I guess I'll share this stream out, so if people who watch this afterwards, you know, just go up a couple minutes to see when when actual Q&A questions are starting as I set the stream up. I'll probably put it in the description later on, so you guys can see that. You know, that way you don't have to just wait here in the beginning. Now let me get the chat box working. Hopefully the audio is not too loud. Yo, Cycly, what's up, Blackstar dude? Welcome to the Q&A. So let me know how the audio is working. Is the music too loud? I have music playing in the background. I hope it's not too loud. But I'm ready to go in a few minutes. So, okay. It looks like I need to get this chat open here. It's just right? Perfect. Okay, cool. Thank you for that information. Alright, so my chats are not loading up quickly. Okay, they're loading. Alright, it looks okay. Thanks, man. I'm a big fan of Miami Heat. I grew up in Miami, so, you know, Dwayne Wade is kind of like my basketball hero. And also, my red is my favorite color. Yeah. In case you didn't notice, red, white, and black are kind of the theme of the channel. So, yeah. I guess I'll share this out to a few social media platforms before I get the questions started. So, alright. I'm gonna go on the Facebook first. There is a Facebook, by the way. Not that many people are paying attention to it. Yeah, they're a great brand, especially for jerseys. Oh, I didn't have a link to share. Well, that's unfortunate. How do I... There we go. AndresRestart live. Okay. Facebook now knows. Alright, let's go to the Twitter. How are you guys doing tonight, by the way? Okay. Yeah, that's right. That's where the music is from. The end of the adventure, but not the end of the fun. That's a really good quote. So, I guess it's time to get started with the questions. Okay. Where am I starting? Okay, so what I may end up doing is then later in the... Okay, that's an interesting question, actually. A few questions about setting up the budget for the PC. You know, we can talk about that a little bit later. I want to focus on other sorts of questions, but I mean, I wanted to try to go for the budget PC 500, but we may be looking at something more expensive around the $1,000 range, maybe. We'll see. I'll have to hash out the details later. Okay, so I guess we'll go over actually the channel updates first before we jump into the Q&A. Good question, Blackstar, about the podcast. So, you know, I went on vacation and we lost Sean from Monolith Gaming. We also lost Andy, but we got Brandon, you know, and we've been trying to do it on Sundays, but the timing of things is just kind of really hard, especially now I have a lot of work to do and I'm trying to get invested with so many different things. So we're going to be moving the podcast to Monday nights, and we'll be starting full schedule regularly. Monday nights is going to be easier for all of us that are on the podcast team. So expect the NSP Nintendo Super podcast to resume Monday nights. Starting next Monday, not this Monday. Yeah. As far as other channel stuff, so obviously I love Nintendo. I'm always going to be doing Nintendo stuff. But, you know, I'm thinking bigger here. I'm thinking about maybe expanding the channel a little bit. Now, I don't know how exactly I'll expand the channel yet. You know, I mean, I guess it's about me, my brand, right? So whatever it is I'm into, whatever I'm putting my energy into, then I'll talk about it, you know? Like, I'll talk a little bit about the solar eclipse today just because I love nature, I love science. So sometimes I'll talk about that stuff. You know, I'm sort of studying cryptocurrencies now, and I'm trying to get a whole gaming rig going, so I may have videos about that. So those are things that are cool and interesting, but aren't necessarily about Nintendo. But a lot of people who like those things also like Nintendo, so I figure it'll still be okay. I also like anime, so maybe sometimes we'll even talk about anime too. Like Dragon Ball Super right now is really, really cool. But aside from that, those are basically the general like channel updates I wanted to talk about. I am actually working on a documentary. You know, I have my best friend who's a cameraman who, you know, he actually works in the industry. You know, I studied acting at college, so we've kind of working together to get a pretty good short film going that's about like hate in the gaming industry and being a Nintendo fan and such, and how it can be challenging at times, especially in the earlier years of the 2000s. But you'll see hopefully more about that documentary in a few weeks. So, yes, actually, what's up, Tatsumi Kibishima? I will be collaborating with Brandon on the 26th. We're planning on doing a 12 to 24 hour live stream. Hopefully, we'll see how that's set up. Actually, that's like, oh god, that's in 5 days. Huh, I have a lot of work to do then. It's gonna be 12 hours probably. But we're looking at a charity. It's gonna be like a stream for a charity, and we're thinking a charity water, right? Because you know, I think that's a charity that a lot of people can get behind. I mean, literally water to support people who need it. Like I think that's a good fundraiser. But I'll look into it, see if there's other options, maybe if there's anything better potentially. But that, for me right now, I think that might be the best option for the charity. And I'm gonna be streaming Majora's Mask. I've streamed Majora's Mask a couple times on the channel during the, you know, if I'm gonna do it for the charity event. But I've never finished it on the stream. I've beaten the game before, but only once. So hopefully I'm going to try to beat the game from beginning to end during this 12-hour stream that I'm going to be collaborating with Brandon. But we haven't figured out all the details yet, so we'll see what happens with that. Sweet. I'm glad you guys like the Fendruna music. Yeah. So, those are, you know, kind of the details about, you know, I guess the channel updates. I'm going to be working on a documentary. You know, I'll be expanding a little bit, but the core is always going to be about Nintendo, because that's where my heart is, right? But it's going to be about me, Andres, as well. And yeah, we're going to be doing the charity stream with Brandon, the collaboration. I'm going to be playing Majora's Mask for 12 hours. I'm not sure he's playing it, but we'll figure that out. So, feel free to guys to ask questions, and you know, I'll try to get to them as I answer some of the questions I already have set up in my notes. But you know, just let me know how you guys are doing. You know, this is a live chat, so I'm going to communicate with you guys, but at the same time, I do want people to watch this after the fact for those who are interested. Cool. Alright, so now I'm going to go into the notes. Alright, so Cycly, you were such a bro, and you had a lot of questions for me. But a few of you guys also had some pretty good questions too. So I'm gonna just kind of go through this sporadically, and we'll see how it works out. And if you guys have any of your own questions, just shoot them, and I'll jump into them in the chat live as well. Alright, so Cycly, you asked me my first question: when were you born? And yeah, when and where was I born? So I was born and raised in Miami, Florida. Okay, yeah, Miami, Florida. That's it. I usually just say Miami, right? But apparently there's another Miami in Ohio, and I had no idea that was the case. So it's kind of funny, right? But I was born in Miami, Florida, My family is mostly Cuban, but I'm American. My father is from New York, so he's American as well, but my grandpa's Cuban, my mom's side is Cuban as well, so I'm pretty Cuban, but I have some Spanish in me, some French in me, some Puerto Rican in me, some Mexican in me as well. Mostly Cuban, though, in terms of heritage, but again, I am American, I speak English, but Spanish is my second language. And I was born in 1991, which means I'm 25. So, October 29, 1991. Yeah. Alright. So, next question. Why AndresRestart as your name? You know what? I'll save that for a little bit later in the chat. Hopefully get a few more people in there. Because that's a big one. That's a big one, so I want to save that for a little bit later. Okay, alright. Tatsumi Kimishima. Got the president of Nintendo up in here. So, do you think Kimishima is doing a good job as a president of Nintendo? Kimishima, you're doing a great job as a president of Nintendo. But how will you compare to, you know, Iwata? Rest in peace. It's hard to say. And I think we don't fully actually know we don't fully understand all the effects they're going to have on Nintendo yet, especially since a lot of the things that we're seeing now are actually the effects of the final plans that Iwata-san did before he passed away. So the things we're seeing with the Switch, the things we're seeing with all this steady flow of high-quality Nintendo games, all of that is related to Iwata. He changed everything. He talked about changing the way Nintendo does everything. He really pushed, you know, changing the way they put games together, right? And the development teams, and they brought the handheld and console handheld divisions together in one house. So now we're getting more games at a steadier rate, and it seems that they're having more of an epic scale. Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, Metroid, Xenoblade. So that has to do with him and what he did, and with how smart the Switch design is and how it's appealing to a lot of people. A lot of that is a credit to Iwata. However, Kimishima is really keep maintaining that, and he's looking forward and to continue to improve upon that. So I think Kimishima is honoring the legacy of Iwata, and over time we will see how he individualizes himself, but he's so far, at the very least, doing a good job of carrying the torch. That's how I feel about that. Royal, what is a box? Okay, I will answer that question. Oh, Adam, sup, you're here too. Okay, what is a box? So, you know, it's a good question, because, you know, some of these guys that are in the chat right now are friends that I go back to Penn State with, and we've had some interesting debates, especially when inebriated. But how I feel about a box? Well, in my opinion, a box is something that you can put stuff in, and it's typically cubical. Of course, you know, that I guess, but can it be like a 2D box? It can be like a 3D box. Can a box be ovally? I don't know, but I don't know. You guys can debate that a little bit more later. Maybe we'll come back to what is a box. So, it's a cube made out of cardboard. Does it have to be made out of cardboard? What about a plastic box? What about a metal box? What about an Xbox? Okay, see, this is how it can get crazy, because now we're gonna jump in different directions here. So we'll see what happens. Oh, and hat boxes. Oh my God, you're right, Cheryl. Okay, yeah, we're gonna move on. But we may come back to why hats are boxes. Cycle, you asked how handsome I am, or why am I so handsome? I think it's mostly just lighting. Yeah, it's lighting. Do I plan on playing PC with subs when I get my streaming rig together? You know what? I'm fully flexible as to what will happen in the future, but I do want it to be about stuff that I want to play. So we'll see what happens with that. But once I get my streaming rig together, I may play a lot of single-player games. But who knows? There may be some multiplayer games I'll play on PC as well. I don't know. But the answer isn't no. It's just kind of like a we'll see. Now, next question. Yeah, box can be made out of anything, really. Okay, so Jello Sniffer asked me an interesting question. What inspired me, if not multiple things, to start creating on YouTube? Okay, so this will kind of tie into the what is AndresRestart, right? But I'll start off with, you know, what inspired me to start creating and start a YouTube channel. it's kind of funny because, like, you know, I've always really enjoyed the GameXplain videos. I was a big fan of Matt Messina and Mark Bozon in the old days of IGN with the GameCube and the N64. That was really cool to me. I loved how they would talk about games, how they'd be passionate about it, how they cared about the bigger picture, but about the games as well, and mostly about Nintendo stuff. And, you know, that I kind of grew up on that as well, and it was just kind of really special to me. So as YouTube got bigger and bigger, I kind of liked the idea of what they did, just talking about games, you know, being journalistic about it, but also talking about the bigger picture, the interesting things as well. So I really enjoy that, and I also really like talking, and YouTube is kind of like a good platform for that. And then, you know, there's like a lot of different reasons. I could talk about all the different reasons, but I think that's kind of where it started. Just like watching them, the work they did in the old days of the GameCube and the N64 as the internet was still young. And I like YouTube as a platform for doing stuff like that. So that's where it started. Now, as for the name, AndresRestart. Okay. So, AndresRestart, well, obviously my name is Andres, right? Or Andres, I don't really... you can say however you want. Just don't say Andreas. I don't like that because that means there's an extra letter. No, it's Andres, one of those two. Or you can call me Andy. That's what my family calls me. So that is my name, right? But my name actually stands for something. Like, it stands for, like, manly, or depending on translations, courageous, or warrior, or heroic. And, you know, I actually really, really appreciate the significance of the meaning of that name. I think that's really important to me. So I kind of stand for that, but in my own special way. But now, restart, you know, restart is generally kind of, you know, you restart a computer, restart games when you lose. So I combined them because I thought it sounded good, but it was kind of symbolic in this sense because when I finally had the, I guess, the courage to say, hey, you know, I'm going to put my face out there and start a channel, it was kind of about like a reboot for my life, a restart for my life, because I've gone through a lot of situations that I guess, put me down, and I feel like I lost a few years in terms of my growth, and I saw a lot of people kind of push past me. So in a way, I kind of felt like I failed, I lost. And when I started this YouTube channel, it's kind of like the beginning of rebooting my life, restarting my life, and going on another adventure. And hopefully I could grow, catch up, or go to lengths, you know, heights much greater than I ever thought. So yeah, a little philosophical, a little, you know, wishy-washy, but that is kind of the core concept of AndresRestart. You know, when you lose, you just start over and you go back at it again, and hopefully you do even better than before. So that is the, you know, the meaning behind AndresRestart. Now, what other interesting questions have you guys put out in the chat? Can a box be constructed out of donuts? Qualifier, the glazed kind. What if you have a cube donut? So, but then it's just a cube. It doesn't really have to be a box unless you put cream in it. Then it's a box cream cube donut. Maybe. Oh, Mudkiff. So you saw 98% of the Eclipse. I saw a lot of it. As you can see, I put a little bit of the footage that over there. You know, I got different things of it. I had these special sunglasses. I had, you know, my phone. I forgot to record on the GoPro. I had it on my backpack. I just left it in there. But it was pretty cool. And like I said, I mentioned earlier in the chat, I'm really into nature and science and stuff. So when I get to see cool stuff like that, I try my best to really appreciate it. Not that I'm an outdoorsy type. I'm an outdoorsy type occasionally. It depends on the situation. When, I guess, I feel inspired. But it's not a daily thing for me. It's I don't know, whenever thing. Now, Andre Adventure 2. Exactly, Mudkips. Exactly. That's ultimately the meaning behind the AndresRestart name. So, Jealous Sniffer, you asked me a question how old I am. I mentioned I was born October 1991. So, yeah, I was born then. I'm 25. I mentioned that earlier in the stream. And do I plan pursuing YouTube as a career? So this is kind of like a big thing for me. I feel like I put a lot of work into YouTube, and I want it to grow, and, you know, I want to be flexible with what it becomes. I would love it to actually become something that can help support me in my creative endeavors, whatever that may be. So I do want it to be a career. But I want to be bigger than that. I don't want to just be a YouTuber, even though that's amazing. I want to be a lot more than that. I'm thinking bigger and bigger, but really, you know, again, it's the baby steps first. But hopefully, YouTube does become a bit of a career for me. I do hopefully make enough money to support myself with that, and hopefully that grows. But I also, you know, I am an actor, and I want to put short films on this channel and have that grow as well. And the thing is, I don't want to work for anyone, right? I don't want to be part of the system. I want to be something separate from it. I want to lead and work on my own creative things. So I don't like the idea of working a 9-to-5 job. That's just not for me. It never has been. Growing up, that always was like a really depressing kind of concept for me. I don't want to be stuck doing a similar thing every day for the rest of my life. I want my life to be flexible. I want different adventures, new things to always be coming up. I want to be flexible. I want to be variable. I want that to always change. So YouTube seems like a good platform to sort of start that, and hopefully bigger projects can come along the way. Hopefully I can do investments, I can do different things, different opportunities come up. So I'm really flexible about what exactly I want to accomplish, but ultimately I want to take over the world and save it, I guess. That's the bigger picture, really vague, but ultimately, yeah, I do want YouTube to at least be a part of my career plan. So, alright. Your bedroom is technically a box, is it not? Yeah, my bedroom is technically a box. The frame rate is crashing. Varudanya. Varudanya. Why does Varudanya sound so familiar? Varudanya. What's that from? Is it a dragon? I don't remember. Oh well. So, is the frame rate still crashing? Yeah, it looks like it's still crashing. That's kind of lame. Why? Why? Screw you, YouTube. It's still crashing. That's weird. Well, hopefully it figures itself out. Please work. Let's just move on with more questions. I don't know, like, it'll hopefully just start working soon. Do I plan on... So, to me, this is from Cycly. What's the difference between Nintendo and other big AAA studios like Activision? The big difference. Well, Nintendo is always about gameplay first, and to me, you know, they're like the real life version of like Willy Wonka's factory. Like, they just know how to make good candy, or in this place, great gameplay. They know how to create that magic. They always have been able to do that. It's just like the core philosophy of the company. They're about joy and just, you know, fun gameplay first. And everything else kind of comes after that. But I feel like when you follow that core concept, everything else just comes together. It's just like, it's like art in a, well, I mean, video games are an art. But when you, I don't know if you've ever done a painting, like, it's kind of like happy accidents. Like, as you just invest yourself into the painting, into the joy of just creating something beautiful, more and more comes out of it, and it's just like, as you do it, you make these happy discoveries. So I feel like the process for Nintendo is similar. Like, they just think about really cool gameplay concepts and trying to make, you know, really fun gameplay. And as they do that, you can watch these, you know, go read their different interviews. They talk about how they didn't necessarily plan on putting this core concept or another, but they discover it with their testing and just their overall, like, pursuit of creating good gameplay possibilities. They discover new and new things, and they add to that, and they just continue until they have a really amazing, polished game. That's why Nintendo's better, because they will do everything possible to create great gameplay, and ultimately that creates amazing games. And they do that better than everyone else. And that's pretty much a fact. I mean, just look at reviews. Like, their average review scores are higher than everyone else. I mean, they have probably, as a singular publisher, it doesn't really get much better than that. That's my opinion, I guess, but not really. It's pretty much generally accepted by most people. Even if you're not a fan of Nintendo, you can't dispute that they're really good at making games. So, Royal just said, what do you think would be a good name for a silver label? I was thinking Terrence. Oh, a Lionel. A silver Lionel. Terrence. I like Charlie. I like Charlie. Or Edward. Edward's a good one. Terrence isn't bad either, though. But I would probably go with Charlie or Edward. Yeah, Edward. Edward's my favorite. Yeah. The thing is, it's not, the frame rate on my, stream. But, you know, I could remove it. We'll see what happens. So, yeah. I don't think that's the problem, though. Alright. Uh-huh. Hopefully it starts working now. Maybe it did work. I don't know. So, where was I? I've done a lot of questions. But, yeah, I feel like Nintendo gameplay first. That's why they're pretty much better than anyone else, in my opinion. And, yeah, I think Edward would be the best Lionel name. There's another question from Cycly. Do I plan on creating a special emojis for Discord? I have no idea how to do that, so I don't know. Alright, let's go to... Actually, Anonymous asked a question. Anonymous, that's his name on Discord. So he asked, what is my favorite game and why? So, for most of my life, I've always said Ocarina of Time. And Ocarina of Time has had a tremendous impact on, you know, my development. So has Wind Waker. I mean, Nintendo in general is just, there's a lot of really special games, but if I have to say, I guess Ocarina of Time is like that core game that everything kind of just, everything else is like, comes after that in terms of like impact to me. But that doesn't mean, you know, things aren't changing. I think Breath of the Wild is pretty amazing, but I won't really know if it becomes my favorite game ever until years down the line, how I feel about it way later on. And the truth is, I don't really like the idea of saying this one game is my very favorite, most best game ever. I mean, the truth is, there are a number of games that are really special to me in slightly different ways. I mean, Mario Sunshine is really incredible to me, Metroid Prime is really incredible to me, Resident Evil 4 is really incredible to me, Super Smash Bros. Melee is really incredible to me, Mario 64, Wave Race, Turok. So, it's just kind of like every video game that I've played that made me really happy during a certain period in my life, it reminds me of certain special things that were going on at that time. It has a certain special magic to it that's different from every other game I played. So for me, I can't say I have one ultimate favorite game, but if you really have to hear one, it's Ocarina of Time. But it really, the truth is, there's a lot of games that are my favorites ever. In terms of my least favorite, I have a hard time thinking of my least favorite game ever. I'm not gonna say Superman 64 because I actually played it when I was a kid, and you know what? I was just so curious at what was going on in that game. I didn't realize how bad it was because I was really young. I don't know. There was this weird dragon game on the Wii that just was terrible. The controls just didn't work well at all. I mean, I didn't love it, but you know, whatever. You know what? Wii Music. Wii Music's the worst game ever. Wii Music, I got that game as a gift, and I never opened it. I never opened it. It was still in its packaging. I have no idea where it is now. I probably threw it in the trash. So, you know, or maybe I sold it for like $2 or something at GameStop at one point. That's what I probably did. So I guess, you know, Wii Music probably. But, you know, I really don't know. I never even played it, but I didn't even open it, so there you go. Let's see how the... Okay, it looks like the stream is working a little bit now, but everyone left, so, oh well, go figure. Yeah, so those are my, I guess, sort of my, you know, my idea about favorite games and my least liked game, even though I didn't play it. So, let's, go to more... Jealous Sniffer was asking me, am I biased when it... Am I biased when it comes to gaming consoles? Even though I was giving Nintendo really high praise before, and I think they create the best games. No, yeah, I still think Nintendo's the best. Yeah, I'm biased towards Nintendo, I'm not gonna lie. But that doesn't mean I don't appreciate other games. I usually don't have the time or money to really invest myself in other game companies, and I'm talking about mainly other systems. Sometimes I'll buy a third-party game, it depends, but, you know, if it's good, I'll play it. So I am biased towards Nintendo, but it doesn't mean I can't appreciate other cool things from other systems. Like, I still haven't played Final Fantasy 15 or Resident Evil 7, And if I had the time and money, I would go out right now and buy a PS4 and play those games, because I think they're really cool. So, yeah, I'm not blind to other amazing games for other companies. I just care about Nintendo the most, so I focus on Nintendo because that's all I have the time and money for right now. Cool. I'm glad you guys are still here. So, what other questions do I have here? What is something that I really... This is another question from Jealous Sniffer. What is something that I really enjoy doing and why? Well, I mean, there's tons of things I really enjoy doing, but here's one. Basketball. I'm wearing a Heat jersey. So, basketball is my favorite physical sport, and it's just... I think it's an amazing game. It's one of the most popular sports in the world, and I think with good reason. To me, basketball is really special, because... to me personally, like, you can, when you play enough of it, you can get to a point where you can hit the zone, right, or establish a sense of flow, and it just kind of like, I kind of like feel the motion, like it all kind of comes to me naturally, and it just kind of fits like this beautiful, artful puzzle, if that makes any sense. And then, you know, the way I move around, people swerve around, juke somebody, and then I'll contort my body and get a shot in. Or if I feel it, you know, sometimes I might sense that someone else is in a better position and I'll pass it to them. But to me, it's kind of like connecting puzzle pieces dynamically in real time, and that's just really cool to me. I hope that makes sense, but that's just kind of like one of the reasons why I really love basketball so much. To me, it's just like another video game, just a really good one, just, you know, with physical movement. You know, so yeah, basketball is one of those, I guess, other things that I really enjoy doing that is different. I haven't played as much recently because of my situation. I don't have as many friends in the area, but I would like to get back to that really soon because I love basketball and I'm always looking at basketball, watching basketball, studying basketball. So yeah, I love basketball. Actually, I have a basketball right here. So, you know, I still play around with the ball randomly because I love basketball. So yeah. Alright, another question. Okay, so my friend Michael, childhood friend, on Facebook, he asked me, will my hair ever be longer than yours? So he was asking me that. So I don't think it will, actually, because I like long hair and you like not long hair. So probably not. I don't really see myself ever really shaving it down. Although when I was a kid I did, but that was only because when I was a kid, you know, I was still growing and understanding my individuality. So, like, a lot of the kids just shave their heads, and so, you know, I basically shaved my head when I was, you know, in 5th grade, 6th grade, but I didn't like it. I didn't like the way I looked, and then, you know, I realized, you know, my hair is actually a little different than most people, and I started to appreciate that, and I like having long hair. But what's interesting about having long hair as a guy, especially someone who's Cuban, so there's like that whole machismo culture, especially growing up in Miami, and a lot of other guys, like men, would kind of, I guess, look down on me or critique me for having long hair. They think it's too feminine. They think I would look much better with shorter hair. I mean, people have different preferences and tastes, and to each his own, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But part of it is just like, kind of like me saying, hey, look, I am me, and I don't care what you think is the right way to do things. No, it's different for everyone. So screw you, this is the way I am, and I like it, and that's all that matters. Sometimes people will tell me that I will look better with shorter hair, and that may be the case to them, to a lot of people, but I like the way I look. And that's what's most important to me. Yeah, I would love it if girls thought I was really awesome no matter what, but ultimately, what matters the most to me is how I look to myself. So, yeah. I like having long hair. So, there you go. But I might cut it short, you know, make it a little shorter here and there. It depends on how I feel, but for the most part, it's going to be longish, always, I think. But you never know what happens 10, 20 years down the line. People change. So, sup, Jealous Sniffer. I actually answered a lot of your questions already. But, you know, you can go back and watch them. But just to give you quick answers to those, I am 25. I do want YouTube to be a part of my career. I am biased towards Nintendo, but that doesn't mean I don't like other games. And I really enjoy basketball, like just as a separate thing that's completely different from gaming and such. I really love basketball. Another random thing I really like, anime. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you may be interested in anime. I'm watching Dragon Ball Super right now. I'm rewatching the whole One Piece series. You know, I like Attack on Titan, Boku no Hero. I'm really into Shonen Jump animes because, you know, I guess I'm a sucker for that character that, you know, goes against all the odds, and you know, it's all about his friends and doing what's right no matter what, and but still being themselves, like not necessarily caring about what other people think. So yeah, I mean, pretty standard stuff, but yeah, it's just like another random thing I like. So now, what other questions do I have here? I think I might have answered a lot of them. I got an honest question that got taught to me, Kimishima's. Cycle, you got a lot of questions for me, so let me see if there's anything else here that I missed. What game warped you the most, not best, just a game that left you feeling special? So, you know, I mean, I kind of touched that there are different games that are amazing to me and have felt special in their own different ways, right? So I'll talk about a couple. One is Super Mario Galaxy 2. Okay, so there's just like this moment that happens when I play the Gusty Garden Galaxy, right? Especially when I play it for the first time. Then, like, jumping out into the wind and flying up and hearing that beautiful orchestral music, it just gives me this strong sense of freedom. And as you guys may have guessed, I enjoy freedom. Like, I resonate with that, and to me, it's a really beautiful experience, and I just think that's just amazing. So there's that feeling that I get from playing Gusty Garden and Mario Galaxy 2 that I just love so very, very much. Yeah, actually, Gusty Garden might be Galaxy 1. Huh, I might be confusing them. But regardless, Gusty Garden and the orchestral music in that level is really, really amazing to me. So it makes me feel free. Also, yeah, Royal, I love the Tropical Freeze music too. It's just amazing. So, another one that I was going to bring up. Skyward Sword. So, Skyward Sword got a lot of flack for, like, motion controls, right? But I still think the game's pretty amazing. I think the art design is beautiful. I think the music is beautiful. I think the story is really, really touching, especially for a Zelda game. And I really enjoyed that experience. Now, it was kind of at a weird time in my life, I guess. I mean, you know, there's always weird times in everyone's life. But during this time, I was actually, like, going through this situation with a girl I had a lot of feelings for. You know, we were in a relationship, we broke up or whatever. You know, it didn't last that long. But, you know, at the time, it was impactful to me. And, like, you know, I felt like I was trying to save her, you know, as I was pursuing Zelda and she was taken away. Like, you know, I was invested and I related Zelda to this girl that I cared about at the time. You know, I know it's kind of corny, but it's the truth. And, yeah, so, you know, I pushed myself. That kind of resonated with me as well for that time in my life. So whenever I play that game, I do sometimes kind of get memories of that time period in my life where I really cared about that person. So, you know, that's the past, though. You know, people grow up, things happen. So, let's see what other questions I got. If you guys have any other questions, just shoot them in the chat. If I missed anything, feel free to ask me again. Oh, Cycly said, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, Cuban's also Spanish, but if you go back to my roots, it goes go back to Spain and a little bit of French as well. And I was born on the 29th. Oh, you live in Paris. That explains, you know, the whole Euro trip. You were born in Spain. You were born October 24th. Yeah, man. October. Late October babies. They're the best. Yeah, I'd say 9.5 out of 10. I mean, I think scores can be a little arbitrary, but I mean, that's a fair score. You know, it's not perfect, but it's still really special, and it does things that go above and beyond. So, I think I've answered a lot of the questions here. And, you know, anybody who brought up other questions, I think I've touched on them as well. But if I miss anything, shoot it again in the chat, because, you know, as I'm reading this and you guys say different things, I might miss something. So feel free to ask again. Or if you have anything new to say, ask me as I check if there's anything else. Okay, this is Cycling from you. What country would you like to go to at least once in your life? Okay. I want to explore the world thoroughly, So that's kind of like a standard thing. You hear from tons of people, oh, I would love to travel the world. Like, that's just one of my biggest passions. And I don't want to take away from most people saying that, but I'm gonna admit it. When everyone loves something, I usually don't, because I feel like the people when everyone loves something, they just love it because everyone else loves it, not because they actually love it. You know what I mean? So I'm about loving something because you actually love it. And I like the idea of traveling the world, not necessarily to go to all the standard touristy places. I want to explore, like, all the weird stuff. I want to see all the nooks and crannies. I want to meet, you know, really special people. Like, you know, kind of like in One Piece. They go on all these crazy adventures, all these crazy places, and see all these amazing things that are unique. Like, I want to go and travel and see jungles and caverns and tunnels. Like, I really would like to go on cryptid searches. I don't know if cryptids are actually real. I mean, maybe they are, but, you know, but I want to go. I want to go for myself and see for myself and decide for myself. For example, there is the Mokele Mbembe, right? That is supposedly this animal that's about the size of an elephant. That looks kind of like a long-necked dinosaur, like a Brachiosaurus, in the Congo, in, you know, in Africa. Now, like, that's I guess I want to go there at some point and travel through the Amazon, the rainforest, and search for Mokele Mbembe, this giant river guardian that lives there. You know, I would like to explore it. I don't know if I'll ever find anything, but I'm gonna try, and hopefully I find it someday. That'll be really cool. So I want to go on tons of adventures like that, and yeah, so, you know, there's not one particular country I want to do, because I have tons of things I want to go ahead and do. I want to go on expeditions and travel around and see all these different things. But yeah, I mean, you know, I could go on forever about all the different things I want to do and with traveling the world. It's cool, man. You gave me a lot of questions, a lot of material. So, is there anything else? I don't know. I guess that's it. I've done the Q&A. It's been going on for a little over half an hour. This has been solid. You know, some people came. You guys came in. I appreciate you guys for coming. I don't know if there's anything else you guys want me to talk about, but since this is a Q&A, I guess I should keep it little. I shouldn't make it too long, because I don't know who would actually come and search for this and want to watch an hour-long Q&A. So I guess that's all for now, guys. Maybe. I wanted to end it right with the music. That would have been a really good ending, wouldn't it have? Yeah, I think so. Alright, guys. So, thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll go? Maybe? Should I? Yeah, I'm gonna go. Okay, I'm just not sure. I didn't really think about how to end this. Should I say anything else? I'll save that for now. I'll keep some secrets for the future. Alright, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for all the questions. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed learning a little bit more about me. And I guess I'll see you all really, really soon. Alright, bye. Have a good night, guys. I wasn't ready to end this, so this is like an awkward ending. As usual! Alright, see you later.